Hey there, true believers, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mezco 1978 Michael Myers figure. Let's get into it. Alright guys, I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite figures in the collection, without a doubt. He's actually probably the figure that I spent the most on until I got my first Hot Toys figure. I even spent more on this guy than I did my most recent pickup, the Hot Toys Man of Steel Superman, but he wasn't quite as much as the Far From Home Spider-Man. But there is one thing you guys need to do if you get this figure. Please pop the collar. All right, you know, it's very, very important. If it's 1978, you got to pop the collar. Now there's some things about this that aren't completely accurate to 1978, and that is the mask. Go ahead and adjust this a little bit. The hair is not quite that accurate. You don't got the little strands on the side, and then this is more of like a slicked back look. In the 1978, he has more of like a he's got it's tighter on the sides and then a little bit more poofy on top. It's almost like a one way I've heard it described is from Dean Knight. It's almost like it reminds him of like a 50s greaser, which I see that too. But the hair actually doesn't really bother me. I think the hair looks really good. The part that does bother me though is the eyebrows. The eyebrows should not be brown on this figure. Now, I haven't brought myself to repaint it, even though I'm sure I'll probably do so sometime in the future. But other than that, the only details that could have been added to the mask is some sort of skin coloring. Now, the only reason that doesn't bother me is because a lot of the people who do like Michael Myers mask rehauls get the skin color wrong anyway. Let alone the color of the skin, the actual color of the skin, most people do wrong too. It's actually the placement of it. Now, there's actually specific scenes in the first Halloween movie that you can see where you can see the skin color is. Now, if you take a look at the scene where there's a lot of hair on this guy. If you take a look at the scene where after Tommy drops the pumpkin, the one kid runs, and then he runs right into Michael Myers. Right before Michael catches him, you can see his head dip into frame, and you can see that all along the side of the neck here, up through the temple, is all skin color. Now, you know that that's not the same through the whole entire movie. Basically, what happened is the mask was spray painted white, and then throughout the 21 days, I think it was, that they were filming, the mask got dirtier and dirtier. Nick Castle apparently kept it in his back pocket. A lot of the different crew wore the mask through several different scenes. I think there's at least 5 different Michael Myers in the movie. A lot of people had their hands on it, and it wasn't treated probably as good as it should have been. But like, I see a lot of people just do little hints of the skin color right here. And then I've seen people like Nick Malpagano go all the way in through here and even have it come up through the bottom of the chin, which is what I do myself. I think that's the most accurate way to do it for a specific point in time. Because obviously throughout the filming, like I said, it gets more apparent. So technically, in a way, most people aren't... I'm contradicting myself now. If you do less skin color, then you can say it's earlier on in filming. So it's not entirely wrong, but the way that it's supposed to look you have the way that it's supposed to look, and then you have the way that it looks in the movie for the most part, which is what this looks like, minus the brown eyebrows and the hair. In the movie, it's supposed to be just a white mask. But I could talk about that all day because it's one of those things. But also another thing is the coveralls. In the movie, the coveralls look like this navy blue here. Some believe that the coveralls are navy blue, but most Michael Myers fans believe that the coveralls for the first movie were either a charcoal gray or a spruce green. If you want to get a pair of spruce green coveralls, I don't know if she still does it, but I guess Tennille's Customs was doing it at some point, and they looked pretty good. But these coveralls don't really bother me. The only thing that does bother me is my pockets are uneven. That bothers me. And I feel like it's a little bit too baggy in the front here. Or it's just like spread apart too much. But also, the legs are a little bit tight. I don't have really any problems with this figure. I'm just speaking objectively. I really do like the figure, but objectively speaking, there's some things that they could have done better, and we'll see if they do that with their Halloween 2 Michael Myers. But I really do like this figure. He's one of my favorites in the collection. And he comes with a lot of cool details as well. So I usually keep him with the clean knife because there wasn't a whole lot of blood in the first Halloween movie, and I don't think we ever see his knife have any blood on it, if I remember correctly. The only scenes that I believe had blood on it was at the beginning of the movie when he killed his sister. There's blood on Laurie's arm. There's blood on the guy who gets killed that Michael gets the coveralls from. Apart from that, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I know that there's more, but I can't visualize it right now. But there isn't a whole lot of blood in the movie, and we definitely don't see it on his knife. But then here we get these grabby hands, which are very, very nice. Get some good details, some speckling in there. The hands look a little bit yellow right now, but it's actually not that color in person. It's a very, very nice skin color. Got some good vein work in there. Then you get two fisted hands. The other one's on him. And you get two grabby hands, or gripping hands, I should say. Now these are actually sculpted differently. This one's got the thumb up, and this one's got the thumb down. So this is more of like a relaxed grip, and then this one's like he is actively trying to whoop some ass. So I'd say I'd use this hand if you have him holding the knife up close to his head, and then of course if he's just walking around, I personally use this one, but obviously it doesn't matter. You can do whatever the hell you want. And then you get a pair of relaxed hands. I don't usually keep a relaxed hand on Mikey. The other hand I always shoot for a closed fist, apart from this figure. But I don't even remember if this one has a closed fist on the right hand, or the left hand. I don't remember. Anyway, some of the other accessories, you get this Judith Myers tombstone, which has some very, very nice sculpting and detail work, as well as the airbrushing throughout. Very, very nice. And for the most part, it stands well on its own. The only thing is my table is not level. It usually stands pretty well. I don't know. Never mind. Don't make me look like an idiot. Anyway, you get the pumpkin here. Very sharp. Very, very nice pumpkin. And, of course, it comes with the light up function. So that's pretty cool right there. I should probably turn it off. Damn fingers are too big to get in there. Sorry about that, folks. Actually, I like the way this lighting looks. Anyway. Again, you get the two knives. That's actually some pretty good blood splatter. I do gotta say that I think that looks pretty good. I don't think it's done, like, it looks good, but it's not really correct for what it should represent. This is more like, this blood effect represents more of like if you were to cut something like a steak, if you were to go across it like this. Obviously Michael doesn't stab people like that. He goes straight through them. So the blood should be accumulated through the tip and then spread outward, opposed to being along the bottom edge. But, you know, it is what it is. And then, of course, you get this little baggie here. You get a flight stand. which I don't use any of my Mezco flight stands. I have one from this figure, my Punisher, and my Thor, and I don't like them. I think my Thor's a little too heavy to use any of my Mezco stands, but I just think that they're way too big. And I don't know, I'm just not a fan of them. I don't even use them for other figures because you can only use them on the stand that they come with. So, like the Michael Myers stand. So, like if I wanted to display an Iron Man figure with this, then I'd have to let him use a Michael Myers stand or a Mezco stand of some sort, and I just don't like that. Anyway, speaking of the stand, you do get this. Yeah, there's your boy right there. And you do get a little peg here. You do get a little peg here that comes out, and then you can stick the stand in through there. So that's cool. Again, if you want to use it, which I don't. The only thing is that this glossy paint finish is it's scratched up super easily. I've had this figure for about a year now, and I got him brand new, and I barely touched the figure. The figure is always standing in some sort of well, similar pose to this. I have him a little bit more dynamic. I'll show you how I keep him posed, but you can see that he has not done well. I've moved a couple of times, which does not help, but this glossy paint finish just does not work well. You can see that over here where we have this matte printing works a lot better. Stands should be made out of some kind of matte finish, or with a matte finish, because the glossy finish just does not hold up. And I take very good care of my figures. I don't mess around with the stands like that, so the fact that it's that scratched up is a bit unfortunate. And then of course here you get the bob sheet, which I don't even think I've ever even put this on the figure, so let's go ahead and do that. Pop his head off. I guess you have to put his collar down now, which is gonna hurt me, but you know. Actually, you know what? That's another thing. When I did my Spider-Man No Way Home trailer breakdown, or if it was a trailer reaction, I said that there was something about Doc Ock that looked weird, and I still stand by what I said when it comes to the jacket. The jacket looks a little bit fake, but I think one of the things that they did that kind of irked me was his collar's down. Both of his collars are down. Pop that collar, bruh. There's not many people that can pull off a popped collar, but freaking Alfred Molina is one of them, so pop that collar. Anyway, we do got the bob sheet, which looks pretty cool. I think that it's a good look to have on the shelf, but I don't think it's a good enough look to waste a whole Mezco Michael Myers for it. So there's maybe some other things that could be done to display this, because I actually think it looks pretty cool. Get Mikey's feet underneath there. Maybe at some point I'd be able to get another one of these figures, and then I'll be able to talk myself into repainting the mask how I think it should look. And then the other one can be a Bob figure. And then I'll have the original, I'll still have the original head, but it won't be displayed, but I'll still have it, so I'll feel good about having at least one original version. I don't know, I might not do it. If I haven't, it's been a year and I still haven't touched it, so I don't know what I will do. There's some figures that I just don't have the heart to touch. But yeah, guys, if you want to see how I have this guy sitting on the shelf or on the table back there that you've seen in the background of my some of my videos, usually I have this guy sitting like this. It kind of reminds me of like a Tyler Mane pose for some reason. It reminds me of, I can't remember what scene it is in the 2007 Halloween remake. The specific scene that reminds, I think it's the scene where Tyler Mane's Michael Myers is looking for Laurie, and she's like hiding in the wall, and he hears her, and then he kind of dips his head down and turns. I think that's the scene. But I usually have him standing like this with the pumpkin right here, and then I have this leaning on the box, because I do keep the box behind him. Speaking of the boxes, I would love to have the boxes in the videos to show you guys what the box looks like, but I cannot do that right now just because of the limited amount of space that I have right here. The camera is backed up all the way to the edge of the table right now. If I were to go any further, then the camera will fall. And also, there's just a small piece of fabric giving me my background. I had a little bit more space at the other table, just a little bit, but I was a lot less comfortable over there. But, you know, as soon as I get my setup looking a little bit more how I would want it to, then we'll be able to look at the boxes and stuff like that. Like, I still want to do a video of my 20... No, I can't talk right now. I want to do a Hot Toys review of my Man of Steel Superman, and I can't do that with the current display that I have, so... but as soon as I get a bigger display, or a bigger setup going on here, I'll be able to do the boxes and the videos, especially like the Mezco boxes. They're enormous. But it won't be that long, I'm sure. I just got to pick up a new table that I need to get anyway, and then we'll have it all figured out. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, all that good stuff. And of course, until next time, true believers.